if you tuned in last time, you seen my ride from Austin to Papantla and the whole thing that happened down at the border in Reynosa, Mexico. So this episode, of course, is about the conference of Tumin in Papantla, Veracruz. So I hope you enjoy this. It's really great information. Click the like, share, and all the other things you're supposed to do with YouTube to help that algorithm. And cheers from Texas. Well, yeehaw, off on the road one more time. Where are we going today, Danny? Well, I'll tell you where we're going. We're leaving Leander, Texas, and heading for a little village. Not really a little village, it's actually a medium-sized town in Veracruz called Papantla. Papantla, Veracruz, Mexico. It is 16 hours of driving, according to the map. Might as well just count that as 20. And yeah, so it's gonna be a long drive. I'm driving through the night. I want to make it to the border, you know, in the morning, which I'm gonna have way more than enough time to do that. To speak at a conference for the Tumin project, which is they call it an indigenous currency, but what it is a local currency that has expanded throughout Mexico, and it is one-to-one with the peso, and it's called Tumin, T-U-M-I-N. It is the Nahuatl word, or the indigenous word, the Mayan word for money. It's a very similar pronunciation all across South America, and you know, anyway, that's what it means. It's money. So this group of people had an altercation with the government. When they created the money, the Bank of Mexico came after them, and they had to use constitutional protections to keep the Bank of Mexico from, you know, persecuting them or prosecuting them. And these exceptions worked, and the money has been around for 12 years, and it went from a college into a city into 25 states, and it was a fascinating project to me, and I went and met them, and now I'm part of the project. So I'm on my way down there to speak at their conference, because we're going to try to do the same thing here in Texas. And I was wondering, where in the hell is this event going to be? Looks like it's right here. So everything behind me, they're building the stage. I thought it was going to be inside of a little building somewhere, but this is going to be really cool. This is will be right in front of the Papantla sign and all the carvings. And all right. So this is the square, Papantla, and welcome to the Tumin Expo. That's exactly what I need to be calling this, an expo, because that's what it is. So all of these people are accepting Tumin. How's it going?
Honey! Hola!
Wow, that's cool. Big difference from this morning. Hey, Marco. So Marco is in charge of Tumin in Oaxaca. Just correct.
Not only Oaxaca, all around Mexico. Cracking the system.
Yes, he is cracking. He is cracking the system with his syscrack. I don't know what this is. I don't know if they're actually part of Tumin. Casa Tumin, Espinal. Oh, so Espinal is where Tumin actually got started, when it was in the university, and escaped the confines of the university and got out into the city. These colorful pieces of paper are Tumin. All of the vendors inside here, and many over here on the town square, actually accept Tumin. So I'll give you a walk through. So these are people who have found a way to use alternative currencies to take away a little bit of the power from government money. It may only be 10%, but at least they're trying to make a change. So you can see all these vendors, all of these people are accepting Tumin, whether it be a portion or full payment in Tumin. So this is the magnitude. This is not a joke. These people are from all over Mexico, and they've come to do business with each other. Hell, even the cops are in here.
Recordemos que también vamos a pasar el sombrero por si quieren alguien.
So yeah, when I saw this, I was really impressed, and so I've been part of it ever since I found out about it. And I'll be speaking here on Sunday, and what we're actually doing with Tumin is creating a digital blockchain.
Okay, sí, okay. Audio, sí, okay.
A digital blockchain, so that they will have a digital form of Tumin to transact with each other from city to city, rather than just in person. We don't want to do away with these paper pieces of Tumin. We just want to give them another tool to bring them into the digital age. Also it'll attract a younger crowd to get involved in Tumin. So, yeah, that's Tumin.
Madre, maíz, spirituality.
Marco says that art is money. Why is art money?
Because they have an exchange of value. You give something with a value to something that is value that is last longer than food.
Right.
In this case, there is also, you can use it as a making nicer your room, your place.
So anything that somebody put their time and effort into to create a value or a beauty or of some sort. But you don't understand.
Told us.
But so Marco's not totally down with the crypto yet. But you haven't considered the idea that maybe crypto is also art. That code is art.
Yeah. But
the people who wrote the code to make that crypto so elegant wasn't artwork. They put their time and effort into it. So you have to open your mind to look at these things.
It's true, definitely true.
This is the onboarding office, I guess. So Juan Castro is over here signing up, onboarding new users of Tumin, asking them what can they contribute to the economy before he gives them a certain amount of Tumin. Normally it's 500, but I think at these events it's around 100 or so. Whoa. You got some new Tumin, didn't you? So Juan is signing up as new user. So basically, you fill out a form and you let the Tumin economy know what good or service that you can provide to the community in order to get the Tumin for free. The Tumin does not cost anything for what they give you to initially join the economy, and then from there you just start shopping at businesses that accept it. So it's kind of a reward point that just keeps you coming back and builds solidarity. I mean, it's kind of their motto. It's moneda de solidarity.
Muchas gracias, caballero. Gracias, por allá tenemos un aporte solidario del país.
Cartel de aceptación Tumin. Le pedimos a todos los
Intoxicación de daño por vacuna COVID. Hipercoagulación, estás en riesgo. Entonces necesitas iniciar un proceso de desintoxicación de tu sangre. Entre ellos, expulsar el grafeno, que ahorita
So I didn't expect to hear this talk, but they are talking about the illegitimacy of the vaccines and the COVID. What we have done with the blockchain is we pre-made 7 million Tumin to hand over to your administrators up Tumin, and then you decide how to distribute that. It is not our job to decide how your economy works. That's your job. My job is to give you the tool to do that. And we're not doing this for money. We're doing this for free. This is something that we believe in. All of the developers. I work with a privacy project called Hush, which creates platforms for people to build their own blockchains. And one of the most important things at Hush is there's no compromise on privacy. So this will absolutely be private. It'll be just like handing over one piece of paper to another person. No one else will know. One of the important tools that a digital Tumin will do for you is being able to transact from one city to another without being in front of each other. And currently, everyone here who's transacting with Tumin, you're handing them to each other to do so. So currently, you can only transact in person. But I mean, I don't know what the arguments are about coffee. This is the analogy I like, but I mean, you know, maybe people in Oaxaca want to send their coffee to Veracruz. I don't know, is that a sin? It's not our goal to try to replace the paper note. I think it's very important to keep that. But being able to transact from city to city is important, and also to bring in younger people. If you want to attract younger people to this, I think a digital Tumin will attract that. I mean, personally, I like the paper better myself, but you should definitely have the tool. All right, this is Danny the Crypto Show, and we are here in Papantla, Veracruz at the Tumin Expo. And aside from talking to the people at Tumin, there's another contingent of people that are here who are cryptophiles who discovered Tumin and said, wait a minute, that's exactly what we're doing, only they're doing it for real with paper. How do we get our technology into the ideas of Tumin? And so what's your name and tell me, you know, what your name is and what it is that you do in Tulum. You do crypto Tulum. Tell me about this.
Thank you, Danny. My name is Steph. And what I do in Tulum, it's a proposal for a coin there that it's rewarding the beach cleanups. What it's aiming, the objective is to create a fund for regenerative funds. So we started getting all this system into a DAO. We have a Tulum Coin DAO. So we're getting this process to integrate a new proposal. So when I met Tumin and I saw how it was working, I was like, wait, we can totally, instead of doing a Tulum coin and other thing, we just do a Tumin Tulum, because this is already working on. But how can we connect this in the technology that we are using in all of these things, and not just to keep on going with the paper that a lot of people doesn't trust itself in this paper because they feel it can be falsified as any other.
Where was it that you actually discovered Tumin? Where did you see it?
Well, I heard about it a while ago. I had an eco village workshop, like a certificate. It was diplomate. A diplomat, yeah. And I heard about all these alternatives of money, of different coins that are working, and like the verdillete, and there's different options, and the Tumin was like the strongest one and the one that had like long time working in a place.
Yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with Bitcoin, you know the date that Bitcoin started, 2009, 2010, and Tumin is just as old. Actually, it's about 6 months newer than Bitcoin, or 6 months newer. Bitcoin is older by about 6 months. So, when I heard about that part, I was like, oh, well, maybe it came about from the same crisis, because Bitcoin was kind of, out of the housing crisis and everything that was going on in Europe, and that's where Bitcoin was born. Even on the original, block, the Genesis block, there's even a note in there, talking about this. So I was thinking, maybe Tumin is born out of the same thing, and it kind of was. It was born out of a university down in Espinal. Espinal. And it expanded from the university out into the city, and then the Bank of Mexico, which is the equivalent of the U.S.'s central bank, attacked them. And when they did, multiple other cities around Mexico heard about it because it made the news, and then they wanted to become part of it. So, special shout out to the Bank of Mexico for actually helping to get this going.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Because then you start seeing that it's not a threat to the government, these kind of alternatives or these kind of initiatives. It's a service. It's a help also that helps the people to be able to get what they need.
Well, I think it is a threat to the government, but it's a small threat. It's 10%. Minimum. A lot of people actually accept more. The minimum requirement to use Tumin is that you have to accept 10%. So that's really taking away 10% of the power of the evil that government would have done with your money had you given it. All right, this is Danny with the Crypto Show, and I'm here in Papantla, Veracruz with Mirage, and I'm trying to get a few, outlooks or whatever from people who aren't directly inside the Tumin community, and what brought them to Tumin. So what attracted you, Mirage? Well, first, what's your background, and then tell me what attracted you to Tumin, to come to Mexico and find out about this, or to make the trip to Papantla.
Honestly, I was really guided by my intuition to come here. My background is really as a humanitarian, as somebody who's trained as an ecologist. So I study natural ecosystems, which are, of course, linked to human systems, to communities, because communities have always, for as long as humanity has existed, governed natural resources, and we're at a point where these systems are really under threat by institutions, by some of these forces that have become outside of community control. And so what appeals to me about Tumin is that this is something that's completely community-based, it's something that's community-run, and there's a real power in that.
Yeah, and one of the things, of course, that they're doing is the percentage of Tumin that people are accepting is actually the percentage of power that they're taking away from the government. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a really beautiful concept. That these movements are slow to grow, but they are growing slowly but surely. We're seeing complementary currencies pop up all around the world, and they're actually popping up in places where power has been most taken from people. And what I find really beautiful about this community is that it really is such a beautiful blend of indigenous communities, of communities that are connected to the tech world, connected to expat communities. It's kind of a real blend of people who are really just yearning for social change, who are yearning for communities to be the guiding force behind how we create exchange, how we create movement in the world.
You traveled here with the people from Oaxaca?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
yes.
There's a whole group of people from Oaxaca, and Marco Tura is the leader of the Oaxaca clan over there. I guess
the organizer.
Yeah, he's the organizer in Oaxaca, and yourself, and then another guy from Germany actually showed up, and he heard about Tumin from Anarchapulco, where we had Juan, who's standing behind us, come and speak last year. So this is just interesting to me when I showed up the first day and I met all these people who were from other countries that are taking interest. All right, this is Danny with the Crypto Show. I'm here in Papantla, Veracruz with Nidia de la Yeda, who is one of the Tuministas from the Mexico City contingent, and luckily she speaks enough English. So my Spanish is, it's all right for work, for construction, but it's not so good in conversation. And so I'm lucky to have an English speaker here. Nidia, how did you get involved in Tumin? Where did you hear about Tumin, and what attracted you to Tumin?
Well, the story is that I opened a Telegram channel with the name Self-Sustainable Communities.
Okay.
And we are trying to encourage people to leave the cities, buy the land in the country and grow healthy food. In this search, we find out that a free coin or solidarity economy was a very good tool for us to be able to use less money, less official money, and start using this independent coin, let's say, to call it somehow. The Tumin, it's for interchange of goods and services, but it's free. I mean, you don't depend on any bank. You don't pay taxes, so it's very good for self-sustainability because you can interchange vegetables, fruit with the people around you.
With the people that think like you as well.
Exactly, but there are people that doesn't think like us, but if you let them know that this is possible to do, they accept because it's in our blood. As Mexicans, our ancestors used to interchange goods. The cacao, the seed to produce chocolate, was used in the old Mexico to interchange like a coin. So you have cacao used to be very valuable for people, and it was one of the coins like Tumin.
Yes, and in one point in history, salt was money, where the word salary comes from. So
exactly, salt, sea salt.
Yeah, and you say the people who don't really believe like you believe, they are attracted to it in one way you can attract people is that they will get business. It's because Tumin acts as a loyalty reward point, kind of, if you look at it in traditional markets today. It's like a reward point. If you use this money, other people who use this money will also come and shop with you. So it is attractive for that reason, but for the other reasons, political or just your mindset, how you think, I think is more important. I mentioned that the amount of Tumin that you accept is the amount of power that you take away from the government. What do you think of that statement?
I agree with you totally, fully. The very conservative way to use Tumin is to accept 10%. But in my case, I think that it's exactly that, conservative. Yeah. There are things that I give my products for 100%. There are other products that I give for 50%. It depends how much fiduciary money you expend. You recover what you have paid, and then the gain you can split it into pesos and Tumin, or dollars and Tumin.
Right.
Danny, the most important thing is that you trust people. When you accept Tumin or you give Tumin, the other is believing in this. The paper doesn't worth anything, but they trust you.
All right, this is Danny with the Crypto Show. I'm here with Leo from Germany, and we are in Papantla enjoying ourselves at the Tumin expo. So, Leo, what part of Germany are you from?
I'm from the southwest, close to Stuttgart.
Close to Stuttgart.
Close to Stuttgart.
So, what possessed you to leave Germany?
Well, I was living for 30 years in Germany, and I was working on the system for a long time, and I eventually got fed up. At some point when Corona hit, I got into the alternative media scene.
I was surprised when I met you here, and you told me where you're from and Acapulco, because you actually attended some of my workshops.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And we had Juan speak, and that inspired you to get involved with Tumin. What was it about Tumin that piqued your interest?
Well, it was very interesting how I encountered Tumin.
Uh-huh.
I met some guy in Acapulco, and he showed me here.
Oh,
the Tumin. He didn't know what it is, so I was like, okay, researching, investigating, and I think even I asked him. He told me, yeah, this is alternative money. I asked some guy, researched it, and I was like, hey, this is the solution to our problems. We need the concurrence, or what's it called in English?
Yeah. Confidence or
concurrency?
Oh, concurrency. Yeah, concurrency. Currency.
No, concurrent. No,
oh, okay.
I don't know the name. Just the competition.
Yeah.
Competition to the banking system.
Right.
Because it's all the same.
Yeah.
So it was
I mean, it's not a solution, but it's definitely a tool.
It's a tool, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, this is the right angle to go. To.
Yeah, small steps. Like I've been saying, is that Tumin is 10% of the purchase, so you're taking away 10% of the power from a money you don't believe in. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't use their tools, so they don't have control over their tools.
Yeah.
That respectively, they don't have control over you.
Oh, it's magic. You know.
Welcome to America's Got Talent. So we're here at Papantla, Veracruz. I'm talking with Manuel Tapia, who plays kind of a big role here in the whole Tumin project, and we're at the Tumin Expo. So what's your role, Manuel, in Tumin?
Well, I'm just another guy who believe in this project. No? I love the Tumin. I love the community. I love the job. I love the farm people. I love the people who work, hard work.
So Manuel he's kind of like the Federal Reserve. He prints all the money. No, he doesn't print all the money.
Okay.
But he does print some of the money. He printed my nice T-shirt.
Money too.
Yeah, he prints some of the money. He does. Matter of fact, hell, you got some there, don't you? Show me your money. Show me the money. He's gonna show us the money.
Well,
so these are
screen printer.
Yeah, he's doing screen printing of the money. So this is just one of the versions.
I did a ambigram design of Tumin. You know.
He's also an artist. Quite an artist.
I don't identify like an artist. I may just another guy, man.
He's just another guy. So, where'd you find out about Tumin and what got you interested?
I am from Veracruz, Puerto de Veracruz, and I have a place called Tapia Ediciones, and we make books, handbooks. I'm book binding. I'm calligrapher. I'm screen printer, and I'm graphic designer. And I'm your friend.
He is that. Good guy to go drinking some beer with too.
Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So, how long have you been working with Tumin?
Since 2016.
2016.
All right. Okay. How many years? 7 years.
And so you've seen it grow quite a bit.
Yeah.
What period do you think is the most growth that's happened?
I guess the community.
No, I mean when do you think it has grown the biggest, the fastest? Like in the last year, the last 2 years, last 5 years?
The growing?
Yeah, I mean, how fast? When Tumin started growing, when did it grow the fastest?
Maybe. I guess in 2017. Why? Because that year it's the earthquake, you know.
Oh yeah.
And all the Tumin community. Sorry, my English is not very good looking. I understand, but we still together.
He's also a joker. He's quite the comedian.
We're still together to help us, you know. And the big and the strong arm of Tumin, of the community, in that year.
But in that year, were you in Veracruz or were you in Puebla?
No, I am in Puebla.
So I was there too.
Yes.
I was there for the earthquake in Atlixco, Metepec.
In Atlixco, yes. Then I go to the Veracruz and I started to live there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that, well, not one of the first things. It was one of the biggest things I did with cryptocurrency was go to Metepec and build houses.
Ah, yes.
We were funded by a cryptocurrency called Dash.
Wow.
To build houses, and then we got extorted by the government.
Yes.
To build the diff.
Like we say, el mundo es un pañuelo. The world is
very small.
Very small. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I wish I would have known about it then. This has definitely been a trip. So the next thing to do is Chiapas. What's going down in Chiapas?
In 26th of this month, July, we're going to find us to speak about the very temas, como you say, themes, education, new challenge for the Tumin currency, like the how the government try to
crush it.
To see, yes.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, and that is the festivals, and it's a way to show the products and to meet new people,
right.
No.
Well, I mean, it's very much an expo, just like this here. But
yes.
Is it going to be bigger than this one?
I guess it's smaller.
It's smaller than this one?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, this one's pretty big. I went to the other one in Veracruz and was impressed then, and I'm super impressed now. This one is it's more than what I expected. So, yeah.
Well, in Veracruz, it's dance, music, beer.
The flyers every hour. We got the flyers flying around up over the right up above this tent up here. The Papantla flyers are flying around. They might be flying right now. No, I don't see them right now. But every hour on the hour, they're up there spinning around, doing their dance. It's pretty cool.
Backups.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure working with you guys and seeing where you're going with this, because it really is pretty much the same thing that I got into crypto for.
Yes, I know.
Cryptocurrency is you're just a paper version of what we're doing. Even though Marco doesn't want to agree with us.
I say I don't agree with
with crypto.
The crypto. Why? Because in some place don't have energy, don't have light.
Well, but it's not meant.
Sorry, Danny said me. It's another tool.
Yeah.
And yet my mouth is okay. Okay.
So,
that's true. But it's another tool.
We're not the digital, the crypto Tumin is not meant to replace the paper.
Yes.
It's just another tool.
Yeah,
it's just a way to bring younger people in who are interested in digital things. It's a way to be able to transact from city to city without being in person. Right now,
and I agree.
The only way you can transact is if I hand it to you or you hand it to me. But with digital, we can be not next to each other and still transact.
Now I agree with you.
That's so.
Now I agree with you.
This is not meant to replace the paper. I would hate to see the paper go.
Yeah.
Because it's having something tangible that you can touch is very important for bringing new people on board.
And it's a bridge. It's a bridge for the generations. Generation and generation. Our generation and the generation who came. It's a bridge.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks you.
That concludes my adventure in Papantla and the whole story of Tumin, at least that portion of it. If you're wanting to see the full interviews that I did from Papantla, you can find those on the Crypto Show's channel, which is the Crypto Show on YouTube. Go check that out. And if you want to get started with Tumin, if you're in Mexico, I'll hook you up with Juan Castro or any of the other Tuministas, depending on what state you're in. Just reach out for that. And if you're in the US and you want to start your own version of it, just let me know. I'd love to see another one get started up in the US other than just in Austin. And if you're outside in another country and you want to get started, reach out to any of us and we'll get you hooked up.